I'm sure you heard a lot about Disney, right? How come Mickey Mouse is still copyrighted?
Oh,
is it expired?
That's because they just make it's like a money maker for Disney.
No, but
they lobby the lawyers. So
we just spoke about how fair American system is. Is that one example where there's corruption?
A little bit, but because they changed the rules, right? They extended the copyright.
So how can you just change the rules all of a sudden for benefit of one company? That
well, it benefits all copyright holders, not just one company, right?
Why was the law invented?
They lobbied it. That was my understanding when it happened, is that they lobbied Congress to extend copyright protection because the Mickey Mouse was too valuable for Disney.
Right.
Right? And then
what was the original rule? It was like 70 years copyright?
Something it was like 100 years and they extended another 30. I forgot what the exact particular number of years was, but they extended it like decades worth, right?
It's crazy.
So, Disney now has a lot more money because they can get all the revenues, the royalties, and all of that from that, all the sales and everything like that, right? So, but another place where it's similar is Nissan. So the reason Nissan fought them is because famous marks like Tide, like Tesla, like all these things that are just household names, they get what we call super protection. So if somebody started a company that called like a brand, like how can I say it? Something that's not famous, like In-N-Out Burgers. I don't think it's a famous mark, but if someone did In-N-Out Burgers for automobile repair shops, right? Then In-N-Out Burgers would not be able to do anything about it because they're not. I don't think that they're considered a famous mark. Because famous marks are those that are recognized by. From grandma to little kid.
Let's say Apple.
Apple, right?
Yeah, I started a company tomorrow selling books under Apple.
Or let's say you sold a tree, fake trees,
sure,
right?
Apple trees.
Right. Apple trees, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like this fake plant or whatever, right? Then Apple could sue you for what they call dilution. The power of Apple brand, they're just going to sue you because whenever you use Apple for something else, the brand is such a famous mark that you're taking away the power of their brand. Okay. It's not even likely of confusion where you have to look at the goods and the mark. It's just look at the mark, and if it's the same mark. So Nissan used that against that guy, that Nissan, but he said, hey, that's my last name. I can always use my last name. But they were fighting him and thinking that he'd break down and just kind of give up, right? So that's another place where it's unfair. It's only for the rich, right?
Or the very, very established. Yeah.
The very, very powerful. You get this power of dilution, where people can't just use your name in anything, right? So
right.
Disney, McDonald's. So if you wanted to start a shirt company called McShirt, you'd get a lawsuit from McDonald's. And McDonald's is a famous brand. Everybody knows McDonald's, right? Who doesn't know it?
Okay, I have a question for you. Speaking of McDonald's, I saw a YouTuber. He did a video where he created, just I guess for views, he rented a burger shop.
Yeah.
And named it McDonald's Sucks.
For
one day.
You could do that.
For one day. He used their logo. He made it look identical to McDonald's.
Yeah.
But just put the word sucks everywhere.
Yeah.
And he gave away the burgers. Like he didn't.
Can do that.
Because it's comedy or what?
No, it's not. It's I forgot what the term was. So they used to have it's called the sucks case, Fries Sucks, Fries, the electronics company. They used to have a website called Fries Sucks
and
.com, and you just can't do anything. I forgot what the rule was, but it's not dilution because no one's really confused or thinking that Fries Sucks is associated with fries.
Well, do you have to make that word sucks big enough for people?
Yeah, you have to make it plain that, I'm communicating that fries sucks, right? Or McDonald's sucks.
So I could start a business, Apple Sucks, and sell different phones?
Yeah. Well, I don't know about selling different. Well,
sell
maybe.
Android phones, Apple Sucks.
Yeah, you might be able to get away with that.
Seriously.
Yeah, you might. Apple might sue you, and you'd have to kind of spend money on the legal fees. But I think that you'd be able. Just kind of thinking about it real quick.
Okay, we're not offering legal advice.
This is not legal advice.
Don't go out starting.
Don't come back to me after you watch this.
Someone's going to be stupid enough that starts it.
It used to be popular, I think, in the early 2000s. It used to be popular in the early 2000s when people, the internet was it took off in the 2000s, right? I think email and all of that started coming about, and all the domains started getting like really popular. So actually 97 is kind of when it went, but there was a lot of sucks cases, and then there was a lot of litigation on this.
So the guy probably knew what he was doing. He was just
Yeah.
He figured out the loophole to make a nice, fun video.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, you can say because you.
Let's say he made money. He actually sold the burgers. Could McDonald's went after him and say, "Give us the money back, whatever you made"?
No, I don't think so. That'd be a tough case. But he's gonna have to spend some money because McDonald's would sue them, right? And say, hey, take that down, blah blah blah, and they make a case, and now you have.
Probably in that case,
legal fees,
it would be a mistake for them. I think almost like he's baiting them, because the moment he gets sued by McDonald's, all the media are going to cover it, and that's going to boost his exposure like crazy.
Yeah,
even if he loses the case, that's like free PR you get.
Yeah, the one that I think people try to do, which is not legal, is like you'll have a guy who wants to start a bar near Angel Stadium, right? And they want to plaster the whole thing like Angels, right? And then when you walk in, you're like, oh, this is like the Angels bar, right? And then that's kind of like dilution or like likelihood of confusion, trademark infringement, or unfair competition, because when people walk in, they're like, oh, is this sponsored by Angels, or is this truly just some guy who loves Angels?
How big of a name it has to be? Angels, for example, would be able to use that?
Angels is, I'm not sure. Being a famous mark is very rare. It has to be recognizable throughout the age spectrum and geography.
Do they do some kind of a test?
I think they do like a
poll, maybe?
like a poll, which is very expensive to do.
I guess, if you're big enough,
you're like $50,000 to $100,000. You're doing a poll, like, do you recognize this? Do you recognize? And then they have to kind of establish it. Then you fight about it.
It makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does.
If you're gonna get to a level where your brand is worth billions of dollars, you should have that level of protection. I think so.